Welcome to the Art Project. I was inspired recently by a Peter Draws video, as usual. I love his videos, and I was pretty inspired by this one that he just did of a bathroom floor. You'll have to look it up. I'll try and leave a link to his video in the description down below. What I'm about to do on my sketchbook doesn't really look anything like his, but that's what gave me the idea. I grabbed a silver paint pen, which I've had in a desk drawer for years and years and years, and so it did not really write as good as it should have, but I didn't let that stop me. I just started making some marks around some of these stickers that I've got on my sketchbook, and then just kept on going. I really feel like the quality of the line could have been a whole lot better. It just would not keep a consistent mark. Sometimes it would spill too much ink out. Sometimes it would just stop writing altogether. I had to keep going back over lines over and over and over again. But at some point I kind of tried to let it go and say, you know what, whatever kind of mark it makes is the kind of mark it's supposed to make at this point in time. In other words, rather than being unhappy because I don't have a consistent line, I decided to be content with the faded marks or the spilled marks or the extra marks or the drippy marks or even the accidents where I got ink on my hand or on something else and smeared it or whatever, and that's okay. So here's the moral of the story is, I mean, obviously, if you have a specific thing that you have to have because of a commission or a sale or something like that, then you need to, I guess, go and buy a better pen. But in this particular case, it was my sketchbook, and it didn't really matter. And so, because it didn't matter, I decided to embrace the marks that this particular pen made. I don't know, maybe that's kind of a cop-out, but you know how you can appreciate a painting because of its painterly brush strokes? Well, I think I can appreciate my drawing and my sketchbook cover, even if the pen did not work out 100%. Again, maybe that's a cop-out. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. So I already had some stickers on the sketchbook, and I didn't want to take those off, so I either went around them or I went over them. And on the ones on the front, I just kind of made a little outline around them. Also know that lines by themselves, while they can be really great, lines by themselves aren't really enough, or at least I don't feel like they're enough. And so sometimes things need to be filled in. Sometimes there needs to be more color, or in this case, more silver and less black. Sometimes the textures need to be real specific, like scales. Other times, more abstract. I don't know. This is not necessarily my typical style. It was just, like I said before, inspired by Peter Draws and his awesome doodles, and I could see it on my sketchbook. Now, of course, when I started, I was thinking that my silver pen would make marks as wonderful as the pen that, or the marker that Peter was using in his video, but it did not. Going around the side of the sketchbook was kind of hard. I wanted the lines to kind of connect as I went all the way around. So I tried to kind of watch that, but again, the marker kept running out. I wanted the front and the back to be a little bit different, similar in materials. I still use the same pen, but I wanted to have a little bit different feel on the back than on the front. So I spread my lines out a little bit more, filled in a little bit more. And then when I got real tired of having to keep the marker going, when I just couldn't stand that anymore, and I couldn't get my consistent lines, I decided for a scribbling kind of texture. And so I just scribbled and scribbled and scribbled. And I think that in the end, I actually like the scribbling better maybe than the lines where I was trying so hard to make them perfect. Anyway, so that covers the sketchbook. My front and my back are probably a little bit too different from one another, but that's okay. I decided to protect the paint. I would cover it with some packing tape. The packing tape will kind of protect the cover, make it a little bit stronger. It'll protect the paint. And I just kind of worked it into all of the seams real good. I folded it around onto the inside so it's not going to be peeling up or anything on the outside, and I think it'll be just fine. Again, it's a sketchbook, and sketchbooks don't have to be perfect. They're meant to be roughed up, I think, anyway. They're meant to be drawn in, abused, painted in, taped over, stickers, tears, watercolor, just whatever you can get into it. And so that's what I did. Again, the packaging tape will help it last just a little bit longer. And yep, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this video, especially if you've watched it all the way to the end. It must have been good enough for you to give it a thumbs up. Please do. Subscribe if you're new here, and come back and see the art project.